What's going on, guys? So I'm going to do the $100 service on my Mercury 250 Pro XS 4-stroke, and here's some of the things that you're going to need. You're going to need something to put the old oil in, or you can use an old oil jug. Really anything that'll hold the oil. You can take it to O'Reilly Auto Parts after this and get them to dispose of it for you for free, so that's pretty cool. You're going to need a hose for draining the oil into the reservoir. You're going to need gear lube. You're going to need a fuel filter and a new oil filter. That's pretty much the stuff you're going to need. I'm going to show you how to do it. So you're going to need a 5/8 ratchet. This is going to be your oil drain, and this is going to be your tube for draining oil. What you're going to do is just loosen it a little bit, just like that. You're going to put your tube on, just like that, and you're going to just start spinning it real slow until you start to see the oil come out. Coming out right there. So you're just going to take the end of this and throw it in your reservoir and watch it come out. Loosen it up just a touch more, and that's the first step. Get your oil out of there. So once that oil is done draining, all you're going to do is take this hose and you're going to spin it. Get that tight, just snug, just like that. And you can take this hose off. What I like to do is just wipe that off a little bit, get that remaining oil off of there, and then you can just leave this hose sit right in your reservoir. Move this to the other side, and you take your 5/8 ratchet, and you're gonna just snug this up. Just like that. Now we're gonna move to the other side here where your oil filter is. You're probably gonna need some sort of oil filter tool to just loosen that up for you so you can take it off the rest of the way by hand. There's a little spout right here, that's for that tube. So the oil from when you take the filter off goes into a little pan under here and then comes out here so you don't make a mess. Have to wipe up a bunch of oil off of your engine. Take that filter, set it on your pan, let it drain out. Let any of that excess oil come out of this hole here. Drip out of the tube into your pan. Now that you got the filter off, it's draining in the pan, take your new filter, get it out of the box. You're gonna take your finger with a little bit of the new oil, dip your finger in there, and you're gonna rub just a little bit around the gasket on the new oil filter. You're gonna put this back where you took the old one off. You're gonna wait till it hits like that. You're gonna give it a little bit. Just snug, doesn't have to be tight. Don't use a wrench to retighten this. All right, to change the gear case oil, you need to take your prop off. I've already loosened this up. We're gonna take the prop off. Make sure that you keep the washers that are on there in the same order as you took them off. What I like to do is just stack them like that, set them somewhere safe. Make sure your hub doesn't drop on the ground. So get you an oil pan underneath your skeg here. What you're gonna do is there's two bolts, one here and one on the side. You're gonna take both of those completely out. Start with the one on the bottom. And this has a gasket on it, so make sure you get that gasket out of there so you don't misplace it or it doesn't go back in there. Just make sure you get that off. Then what you're gonna do is loosen this one and the gear case lube should start coming out. Make sure when you get your oil changing stuff to get replacement washers for your $100 service, and I have done that. You're gonna start to see the oil come out, and you're just gonna tilt your motor down so that it comes out a little bit better and a little bit faster. Basically that side hole is to let air in so the oil can actually come out freely. But yeah, so that's pretty much all there is to draining your gear case oil. Now just let that go for a little while until it stops coming out, and I'll show you how to put it back in. Now, the vast majority of the gear lube is out of the lower unit. What you're gonna do is just tilt your motor up just a little bit so it's level, about like so, and you're going to start pumping in the new gear lube. You're gonna need one of these pumps from Mercury and Mercury 90 SAE. You're gonna take this hose and screw it into the bottom hole. So you're gonna start pumping this stuff in until it comes out that side hole there. Then once it starts coming out, you're gonna take your bolt with the new gasket on it and you're gonna screw it into that hole. Just snug, you don't have to over tighten it, don't break it off. And then you're going to pull this out and put your bottom one in and you should be good to go. So you should be good to go. As you can see, I got some of the actual good oil started to come out the top of the hole, which is good. Got most of the bad oil out. And we're good to put our prop back on, and gear case lube should be good. So the next thing we're gonna do is the fuel filter, and I'll give you an up close look at what that looks like and how to remove that. So this is your water separating fuel filter. This is gonna be your fuel line in, fuel line out. And then down here, I've already removed it. There's gonna be your water sensor. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is take this water sensor off, which is just, you can either lift that little tab up with your finger or use an automotive pick and it'll come right off. And then as far as these go, I'll show you how to take those off. Basically all you wanna do is take a screwdriver and push in on this tab here and slowly wiggle it back and forth. And that should pop right off of that filter. So you get this one off and then do the same thing with this one back here. And just like that, got this one off, get this one off. Now all this does is you just give it a little turn and it should come right out. Just like that, and pull it out. That's your old fuel filter. And we're gonna put the new one back in. If you look on the top here, fuel out, fuel in, just put this in the same way you took it out and you should be just fine. All right, now that you got it back into place where it is, all you gotta do is push these fuel lines on and plug your sensor back in and you should be good to go. So it's as simple as that. We got our gear case lube, we got our fuel filter. Now all we gotta do is put our oil in the top here and we should be good to go for another 100 hours and on to the next one. So that's pretty much it. That's how you do a 100-hour service on a Mercury 250 Pro XS 4-stroke. And I hope you guys learned something from this. Hope it made it a little bit easier for you to do it at home. And gonna go get on the water.